The first question is, what is a developer? Most simply, it's somebody who writes code. But more specifically, it's writing code for the purpose of functionality. Consider that there are environments that are code light and no code and low code. Those sometimes more directly equate to web testing operations and system administration. So a software developer is someone who is explicitly working on software functionality, whether that's a desktop application, a web application, a back-end services, or some other type of mobile application. There are many different types of developers. I'm calling these flavors here, but the reality is this can be very nuanced. In general, though, they fall into these categories. Starting with front end. Front end refers to the front end of any given system. In this case, it's somebody who's working on a graphical user interface, whether that's the mobile visuals, the website visuals, the web portal visuals. It's some sort of place where a user is interacting with it. The back end is the part of the system that is typically used for web services, RESTful services. It's everything that isn't graphically oriented. And the combination of those two is called full stack. When someone says they are a full stack developer, that means they do both front end and back end work, depending on the need. A more recent specialization is something known as DevOps. This is a much larger conversation, but DevOps takes the concepts of developers, I'm writing code, and operations, I'm maintaining infrastructure, and combines them into one job role. This job role is specifically focused on automation. How do I automate the process of changing and validating and deploying my code as opposed to doing it manually? Relating to DevOps, we still have traditional ops or operations or administration. This is something that DevOps aims to try and replace, but the reality is nothing is ever really a full replacement when it comes to software. We still have on-premise systems, and even if we didn't have on-premise systems, there are administrative aspects of it. How often do I update this? How do I provision users? Who's maintaining this? So I'm quantifying those types of things into these operational or administrative activities.